I was the first person in my family to go to college. I don't want our classroom being like in the back, like hidden. Like I want everyone to know these kids.
Teachers are some of the most important professionals, if not maybe the most important professionals in our society. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Called to Serve podcast. I am your host, Reggie Hubbard. If you don't follow the podcast, just do us a favor. If you're watching this, go ahead and comment, subscribe, and like our videos. It really helps the mission. But today, I am here with a phenomenal and very special guest today, Miss Victoria Young. For now, last name TBD. Y'all gonna have to keep in track with us. Let me tell y'all a little bit about Victoria. So she is a new special ed teacher. She's been teaching for about 3 years now. Graduated from UGA, so you know she got the brains. Okay, and just super passionate about helping the next generation. And she's a running enthusiast. So, welcome, Victoria.
Awesome. Ow.
So excited to have you here. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Good. So I didn't want to steal all your thunder. So
Okay.
we've talked about, that you are a special ed teacher at a middle school.
Yes.
Right. So let's kind of backtrack a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, kind of your upbringing, and what led you into pursuing a career in education?
Awesome. So I currently teach in the county that I grew up in. Actually, in pre-K, if you go back, I have a little picture of me, and it's like, I guess I was like a star student of the week, and someone asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said I wanted to be a teacher. Even back then, I mean, it kind of like changed throughout like elementary school, middle school, high school. I still always had like teach in the back of my mind, but like I had other careers in mind. You kind of have like you're not going to make a lot of money kind of hanging over your head. I think when you pick teacher, you get a lot of looks, I guess, when you tell people that. So when I was a senior in high school, I was a peer buddy or like peer facilitator. So I kind of like helped out with the special ed class. And so I mean, when I like thought about teaching, I probably always thought I was going to teach like general education. Yeah. I never even thought about doing special ed, but I definitely had a soft spot for them. So I just like helped out in the class, and I got a little more accustomed to like what their classroom looked like, because you don't really see it a lot. Like you see them, but you don't see like what they do like in class. I also helped out with Special Olympics, which I'm pretty passionate about. As you know, at school I have the kids like do a little like silent walk or silent send off, which you helped do. Yes. So I kind of was like still up in the air, like going into college too. So like my first semester I went undeclared. I was thinking maybe nursing. I knew I wanted to help people. I have women in my family that are all like in the medical field. One teacher, but I just kind of like looked at it like I was like, okay, put the money aside, like what's gonna like fill my bucket or whatever. Yeah. And so I was like, I think I just need to go ahead and be a teacher. So I declared my major, and then I was at Mississippi State at the time, and then I transferred to Georgia College and did their teaching program, which is really good, but I looked into it. I always knew I wanted to go to Georgia, but I looked into their education program, and I liked that they kind of split special ed into two categories, because there's two different kinds of special ed. There's more like specialized instruction, and then there's kind of like the resource like pull out, and they're totally different. And I don't think you could really have us all in one group and learn all the same things, because what I might think is valuable in my classroom, they might not think so. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it, and then
So Mississippi State. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're not an Ole Miss fan.
No.
Nope. Okay.
I'm not really a Mississippi State fan either, but
gotcha.
I recognize them.
Yeah. Hey, all y'all Mississippi State fans, You know what I mean? Y'all just gonna have to deal with it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. So I know you said when you were young, you would say that you wanted to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I always wonder why, how is that? And what is it about teaching that makes children from the beginning want to be teachers?
I don't know. You must have, I think having good teachers probably makes you want to be a good teacher.
Yeah.
But when I was little, I always wanted to be an art teacher.
That's cool.
Which is funny because my aunt's an art teacher at the high school that our middle school feeds into. But I'm very crafty. And so I was like, I think an art teacher would be really cool. And then, I don't know. But then, it kind of, you get more realistic and you're like, maybe I'm not as like crafty as like some other people. But I don't know. I definitely think having a good teacher, if you ask most teachers, I bet they had some teacher that stood out to them that they were like, they were my favorite. And that's why I wanted to be a teacher.
That's a great point because I did not think about that.
Yeah.
I was like, man, like, it's interesting. I'm like, is it some type of genetic disposition that like exists in most teachers, or, what are the connecting factors?
Yeah. Yeah.
And just kind of like what makes people want to become police officers or go to the military.
Yeah.
You get
I
what
also
I'm saying?
feel like teachers are the worst students.
Oh,
I like if you look at all like our school, like if we were having to go sit in a class, like, and if you ask them like, how were you like as a student, most of them I feel like would say maybe not the best. I don't know. You'd be like very surprised to hear that, but
because I was not the best student.
Really? I think I was pretty good. I stayed out of trouble, but like my parents had to use like I'm going to tell your teacher, like if I was misbehaving at home, they would say like, if you don't stop, I'm going to tell your teacher. And that would get me to like kind of readjust.
Oh, I was horrible. I was always in trouble.
Really?
People who knew me back then, they see me today and they're like, yo, 180.
I think that's a lot of people though, that you're like, they're a teacher now. Like I feel like some of, not my friends, but like just people that you just know of maybe. And you're like, interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, okay. So you've been teaching for, 3 years or so, right? So talk to us about what are some of those, I guess, some of the adversities that you have to overcome. One, being a new teacher, but also being a new teacher in special ed.
Yeah, it's hard. I think a lot of the times, I think sometimes people don't take me seriously because I'm so young. I would say more staff. I feel like parents, surprisingly, I was really shocked. But my very first open house, I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I bet like some of the parents are going to be upset that they have like a really young teacher and they're not going to trust me. I feel like they were the most trusting because they were like, you're fresh out of school. You have all this like all these new ideas, all this new knowledge. So that made me feel really good that they trusted me. And then you can just build that relationship with them. I love like building a relationship with the parents, but I think staff sometimes doesn't take me seriously. Or maybe some of the students like that I don't necessarily teach, but they kind of are like, she's super young. Like, I don't know. And then I guess another thing that I kind of like feel like have challenges with is, which is also a passion of mine, is trying to get my kids the most involved in the gen ed setting. Like I said that in my interview, like I want to be like at the front of the school. Like I don't want our classroom being like in the back, like hidden. Like I want everyone to know these kids. Cause like I don't remember seeing a lot of the special ed kids when I was in school. Like you would occasionally see them, but I feel like everyone at the school like knows all of my students.
Yeah.
Which I love. I mean, they're hard to miss. They're super social and they're so fun.
100%.
But I push them as much as I can into those gen ed settings, like lunch. Like I'm like, no, we're eating in the class, or we're eating in the lunchroom. Like we're not eating in the classroom. Like I want the sixth graders to see us. I want like the send off. Like I want them to like really like know that like we're a part of the school. Like I want to put them in PE classes, like as many connections classes I can, or electives. Any like sports too. Like I really push for them to do a sport or manage a team. So I try and work with the parents on that. So
I think that's really cool. And now that you say that, I'm thinking about when, I was in middle school and maybe even in high school, how they were kind of hidden away.
Yeah, they're definitely like sheltered a little
You
bit.
know?
And you're like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, we're not doing that here.
Yeah.
Like, we're putting them like front and center. Like, they're so funny. And there's, I don't know. I think a lot of people could just use that, like, to understand, like, people are different and we need to accept that. And
yeah. And I think by positioning them to where they are around more people, that's just going to help build their esteem and their confidence.
Oh, yeah. And social skills, all of it.
Yeah, I love
all
it.
Good things.
I love one thing I really do love that y'all do is, you know, periodically you'll have the treat cart.
Yes.
And you go around and they have to interact with whomever they're speaking with, and they have to ask questions. They have to say, how's your day?
You have to make sure also the teachers have a conversation with them and don't just grab a snack and leave. I know it's like super tempting and like you only have so much planning, but it's like, this is their day. Like you were like the highlight of their day.
100%. And I think that's super awesome, you know, and it's a very real way to help them develop those social skills.
Absolutely.
And it's a win-win for everyone. Hey, you take a minute or two out of your time.
Yeah.
Let them do their thing. You get a tasty treat.
Yeah.
Or a
drink.
drink.
Yeah.
Or ice cream sometimes, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
So I
fully stocked.
I love that. So do you think, just thinking about the future, do you think that you'll maybe always stay in special ed, or do you have any other interests?
Good question. Yes, special ed for sure. So I don't know if you know this, but I am actually like PE and health certified.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Not that I'm going to come for a PE job, but I do want to do a version of that. So we have like adapted PE. So this coach comes in once a week and does a 30-minute lesson with our kids. We end up getting 2 lessons for ours because we have so many special ed classes. So I don't know. I love the fact that I get to have like my class, and like I love like building relationships with people and stuff. So like I think I would miss that if I moved into one of those positions. But with that, I would know way more kids. Like I feel like only having 6, 7 kids, that was not like a middle school reference. Have you heard that on TikTok? They're like 6, 7. No. Anyways, unintentional. So, now I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I want to just see like the most amount of kids that I can, like in my day, week. Like I want to be able to go to the grocery store and like see a kid and like know their name. Like I see some kids, but it's like I want to know them, and I feel like I would have that opportunity if I like did a position like that where I could see. I don't know how many kids they probably see. I would think like in the hundreds. And then you also get to put on Special Olympics, which you know I love. So, and like the ones we have are amazing. They all have PE backgrounds. None of them have a special ed background. So I feel like me coming to the table, this is my pitch right now. Me coming to the table has just a different perspective on things, like things that they might not think about because they haven't been in the special ed classroom. Yeah. So I don't know. That's my dream.
That's really cool.
I got time to do it, but
yeah.
So yes, staying in special ed forever, like in my teaching career, but hopefully not in the classroom.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never actually been to Special Olympics. I'd love to check that out sometime.
Oh, you should.
You know what I mean?
It's like the last. It's the Friday before spring break for middle school.
Very cool.
And it's at one of the high schools. So
I thought it was really cool. The like the silent send off.
Yeah, I thought of that.
Thanks, you came in clutch with that one because I did not get an email or anything.
I just sent it to 6th grade because I don't want to like overwhelm them by going down all the hallways. But for people watching, the silent send off is a silent like walkthrough that I guess like all the special ed kids do, and so instead of clapping, we do like the sign for clapping, which is this. And so it just makes them feel special, and it's not going to set off any of the kids that maybe have some sensory needs. So, because what can happen is if there's loud noises, you might not know it in the moment that it's going to trigger them. It could trigger them like on the bus on the way to Special Olympics or at Special Olympics. Like, it could be just super delayed and don't want to risk anything. So, yeah, but they love it. I mean, they feel like Olympians. So it's really cool. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool. It was a very interesting experience, and I was very proud of them.
Yeah.
You know, they did very well.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about, let's say I'm a student, right, in college. It's my senior year.
Okay.
And I want to become a teacher, and I have my sights on special ed.
Okay.
What advice would you give a student teacher?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Who's about to graduate, you know, that can kind of help them navigate the adversity that you experienced when you first became a teacher?
That's a good question. I guess just like take a lot of the stuff that you like learn in classes. Like, I don't know, I took some really good classes that I really still like use a lot of the information from like today. Like, I took a class about like building relationships with families and coworkers, I think is what it was called. It was really cool. But I use a lot of that stuff like today, like to make good relationships, because I try and make a relationship with every person like that I can, like in our building, like janitors, cafeteria workers, any of the gen ed teachers, because you don't ever know like when you're going to need somebody, and we're all here to like help each other. So definitely like make a lot of relationships with people like when you can, and you never know like when that relationship could turn into something else.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
You probably know that from being in like a business and stuff. Like, you never know.
Your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Relationships are the highest form of currency.
Oh yeah.
I always say that. No doubt about it.
Yes. I would maybe just like think of like just like, I don't know.
I think this is like every interviewer is like, you know, I guess ambition is to be like, let me ask some powerful questions to the point where people really have to think about the answer.
I know.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, so I know you mentioned that sometimes you feel like maybe people don't take you seriously, specifically staff.
Yeah.
And maybe students that you may not teach.
Yeah.
But you also did mention that the parents like love you.
Yes.
And I think, you know, it's because you're bringing all this energy.
Yeah.
Right. And I think students respond to energy.
Yes.
Right. You're excited. So they know that you're more than likely going to put your all into, you know, the efforts that you give their kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, staff, you're going to get people who've been there for like 30 years that think they know everything under the sun.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Oh, look at this new teacher coming in here. This is the way we've been doing it for 30 years. Why would you change it now? Well, you know.
That's education. That's always changing.
Yeah. I mean.
Look at special ed like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's scary to see like what was allowed back then. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think change is always good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just the one thing that's always going to happen is change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool beans. So let's talk about you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Let's talk about Victoria.
Okay.
You know, what do you like to do?
I guess I mentioned that I liked running. Ran a half marathon back in November.
What?
It's like the hardest thing I've probably done like mentally. I like having like a hobby though. So like that was, I don't know if I would necessarily say it's still my hobby. I like to do it, but like just the preparation for a race is really hard. The race makes it worth it. Like the race is the easy part, but it's just like staying consistent can be really hard. But yeah, I guess I like running, but I like to do kickboxing. I just don't do it as much as I would want to. Anything like physical I like doing.
Okay. So certified, you know.
Yeah, black belt.
Don't walk up on her.
Yeah.
Don't walk up on her. You'll get the hands, and in the case you'll get around has kick to the face.
Yeah.
Or something or something like that. So you ran a half marathon. Right. Was it around Thanksgiving?
It was before Thanksgiving.
Before Thanksgiving?
It was the weekend of daylight savings, so it was like the first weekend of November.
Okay. What do you think you like about running? Why?
You don't have to think about it. Like there's not like, so when you go to the gym, like you have to think like, all right, I'm going to do like this workout to get my back. I'm going to do this workout to like get my shoulders. Like running, it's like you just put your shoes on, you put your headphones in, you put like a little, your little belt bag or whatever on with your phone in it, and you just go. Like you don't have to like think of anything else to do it. I don't know. I also like jamming out.
Yeah. So you listen to music when you're running and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. Rock and roll. That's my go-to when I run.
Heck yeah.
Anything that I can, like, air guitar to, like, while I run. So if you were to, like, ever, like, drive down the road and see me, like, you would
just running like...
see, like, a little strum or two. Like, I try and, like, not... I like to distract myself when I'm running. So music is the easiest way to do it.
Do you prefer to run alone or, like, in a group?
I would prefer to run with a friend for sure because it makes it go by quicker because... when you're talking, you don't realize like how much time has passed. Obviously I don't want to be talking the whole time because I'll be out of breath. But like if you can find someone that like can run at a good pace with you and you can like alternate conversation parts and stuff, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
And someone that can like run as much as you can. Or maybe even someone that runs a little better than you because it kind of pushes you a little bit like, okay, I can't stop. Like, we're only like 2 miles in. Like, that's so embarrassing. Like, you know, you kind of play that mental game in the back of your head, but you do it less if you're talking because you don't have time to think about that. So, yeah.
So, what was your half marathon time?
Ooh.
You remember?
I think it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes. I wasn't super like.
You were running like a casual, leisurely pace kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like a 10:30, I think, average pace.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But it was super hilly. It was in Athens. Yeah. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
But it was super hilly. Like there was one hill, I think it was like the 10th or 11th mile. I was about to start crying. And I was like, I can't cry. Like, what if there's someone like taking a picture and like that would be so embarrassing.
Yeah, you just get a snapshot.
Yes. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I can't. So it was hard. It was definitely hard. And I ran it by myself too, which was even tougher. And everyone's got like headphones in. So like, I don't know, like it wasn't like I could just talk to somebody. Not that I'm like that kind of person that would just randomly talk to somebody, but like I didn't have like a buddy or anything. So it was a lot of mentalness.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mentally tough and will kick you in the face.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it from the one and only Miss Victoria Young.
Yes.
Let's go. So I want to know, do you have anyone or people that you look up to? And when I say that, right, obviously you've already been through a journey. Yeah. Right? Going through this whole process, you know, your support system, someone that is, you feel like it, maybe even who you've wanted to make proud. Yeah. You know, you have anyone that you look up to, kind of like a mentor or?
I don't know. This kind of sounds bad, but maybe no. But like not maybe like one person in particular, maybe just like family in general. Yeah. I was the first person in my family to go to college. So I feel like, yeah. So I feel like a lot of my family like really supports me. Like I feel like I know success like looks different for everybody, but they kind of view me, I feel like, really up here. Even though I know it sounds so bad and I'm like talking down on myself, but I'm just a teacher. Like I'm not anything like crazy, like, but they act like I am just because like I went to college, like I was a teacher. I also was a part-time nanny for a little bit while I was teaching. Just bought my first house. So like doing like all the major milestones, like I'm 25. So they really, really like support me and are super, super proud of me. Like there's never a doubt in my mind that I feel like I'm ever like disappointing them. I could do like the smallest thing and I feel like they're like, that's amazing. Like they're super passionate about what I do. So yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I wonder if it's that they don't know. I don't know. That sounds bad, but I wonder if it's because maybe they don't feel like they're successful in their lives, like as much as like they would want to be. So I feel like it's easy to see like all of the things that I'm doing. They also kind of did a lot of their stuff a little backwards. Like my mom had me at 19, then she got married. and then like got a house. So she did it completely
It's a little
opposite of what I
different,
did. Yeah. So
Okay.
like, I think that they're not jealous, but like,
Maybe living vicariously.
yeah, I guess so. Like they just kind of wish they had that life. Like they want the best for me, and I think that's why. Like, so the reason I went to out of state my first year was because my parents didn't have like the college experience. They didn't go to college. They're like, we want you to have like the best possible experience. We want you to go out of state your first year. Because I've lived in Georgia my whole life.
Maybe they were trying to get rid of you.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just I'm too good. They wanted me to go out of state my first year and then go to a big school. So
yeah,
that could be it. I don't know.
well, that's cool that you know you have the support
Yeah.
of the family, and you know, I want to go back to something that you said.
Okay.
You know, you said that you're just a teacher.
Yes.
Teachers are some of the most important professionals, if not maybe the most important professionals in our society,
Yeah.
right? You're more than just a teacher. You're a counselor. You're a mentor. You know, you are a friend.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And I think you have the ability, a unique ability, being a teacher, maybe special ed. I mean, I'm not a special ed expert,
Yeah.
but these children remember things.
Yeah.
And these children are used to probably walking in public
Mm-hmm.
and being looked at differently. Don't think
Yeah.
that they don't understand that they're different,
Oh, yeah.
right? And you see them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you interact with them on a different level.
Yeah.
And I think that's very special. That's very unique. And I say this all the time. I think there's a special place in heaven for people like you,
Thank you. Let's hope.
because that couldn't be me.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love our friends. Like our
Yes.
friends that are a little different. It just takes a certain level of empathy, patience.
That's the one. Everyone
You got to
always
be
says that.
built for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say I really don't think that I'm that patient. You can ask my fiance.
Yeah.
You just see me in the car. I'm
Well,
not.
you know, I mean, your relationship with your fiance is different than your
Well,
relationship.
no, I
with-
have really bad road rage.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
It's really bad. So I wouldn't say I'm the most patient person. I think that I try to be. I think it's like subjective. Like in the classroom I can be. But I run I don't know if you've ever been in my room like when I'm teaching, but I run a pretty tight ship. Like I'm pretty strict.
Yeah.
We have fun, but like I have very clear expectations and set consequences for certain actions. So
And that's what they need. You know what I mean?
I
They
think
need to
people thrive
be
on.
treated like everyone else
Yeah.
to a certain extent, right?
Because if they get told, "Oh, you're so cute," oh, like all the time, it's not healthy, and it's not setting them up for success.
Yeah. And I feel like I said, I'm not an expert. I feel like they want to feel normal.
Oh yeah,
You know, they want to.
yeah.
They want to do
absolutely.
stuff like everyone else.
I think it's also hard sometimes for people to understand like their age. Like they are a little older because they can stay in school a little longer. So they come like at 13, they leave when they're 16. So when people are like, "Oh, they're so cute," and I'm like, would you say that to like a 14-year-old? Like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of, because like of the way that they look or something and they look cute or whatever. I don't know. I don't think people always like take into account like that's a 15-year-old kid right there. Like, would you say that to an 8th grader, or like would you do that for an 8th? Like, you know, like I think sometimes people have a hard time understanding like they are just like everyone else.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
yeah.
You know, I know you. So you are engaged.
Can you see?
Oh my gosh! I just got blinded. Come on, man.
Yes.
I need a second.
Yeah. Eyes got to readjust.
Okay. So, how does your fiance feel about you being a special education teacher?
Very supportive.
Yeah.
He always says though that he could never do it. He's like, I don't know how you do it. Like, I mean, as a special ed teacher, people have behaviors and stuff. So, obviously I get hit or punched or whatever, hair pulled.
Yeah.
And he's always like, I would be so nervous if I was in that situation of like how my body would react to it.
Yeah.
So he's always like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of that, I mean, I know it can be very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've personally witnessed you have like an emotional.
I'm very empathetic
kinda,
when they have like any kind of behavior, like, especially if we have to like do any kind of restraint. I like cannot handle it. I have to like leave the room because they're screaming and I know that they're upset, but it's like, we have to do this for you to like keep not only us safe, but yourself safe. And so it's really hard. That's probably the hardest part of my job is any kind of behavior when they're having like an outburst like that. It's really hard to watch.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I'm gonna be a mom if my kid has any kind of behavior. I'm very empathetic. So I don't know. Yeah.
Watch out. She's talking about kids.
Yeah.
Talking about kids.
Yeah. We got time.
You got time. I
have enough kids in the classroom. I don't need kids for a minute.
Yeah. Just enjoy being married.
Yes.
Enjoy each other.
Yes. Traveling.
Marriage is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
It really is. Especially, the word says that when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing.
Absolutely true.
So,
yeah,
that's awesome. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Well, listen, I have enjoyed having you on here. But I do have one question for you.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've seen the podcast before. And that question is, what would people be surprised to know about you?
Okay. I think that people would be surprised to know that I know I'm a teacher, but I do not like to like speak, I guess, like in front of like large groups of people that are like my age, I guess. Like I don't really think I could teach like a gen ed class. I always say that gen ed kids freak me out.
Yeah.
They're just a little more they could be more judgmental that it like I don't obviously like throughout this podcast you've noticed that like I view people's opinions like very highly, and so I think that I get nervous about people like judging me. So like if I have to go, I've only done it maybe a couple of times. I've been asked to like go to like a grade level meeting and speak. I do not like going and doing it. You might not know, but I'm like very nervous. Like when I talk in front of like people my age, I don't know. I can teach in front of special ed like all day long. It's also like, if you think about it, it's very small group. So it's like 6 kids. There might be a couple of peer buddies in there. So it's like 10 kids. That was the one thing that I was really nervous about when I first started teaching and I found there was going to be peer buddies. I was like, I teach in front of peer buddies, like gen ed kids. Like I can't do it. I know there's only like 3 or 4, but like what if I mess up and they like go tell their friends I don't know how to teach? Like that's how like my brain works. So
well, thanks for sharing that.
I do not like talking in front of large groups of people. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if I could be a PE teacher.
I think you could. I think you got it in you.
Maybe
100%.
Our PE teachers do.
Yeah.
Too good of a job. I couldn't top it.
I'm gonna keep that in mind. I'm gonna keep that in my prayers for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hand me a mic in front of like a staff meeting.
And be like,
that'd be my biggest nightmare.
And be like, hey, I'm gonna let you finish, but
yeah.
Yeah. So before we let you go,
okay,
I got something for you. Let's go.
Awesome.
This
really
is
cool.
This is a call to serve. It's a custom challenge coin.
Awesome.
And
thank you.
what it is for is to serve as a reminder every time you see it of why you do what you do.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know,
really cool.
you may feel that you're just a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be millions of other teachers out there that feel the same way, but your role in this society, your role in the world is so important. And if I can help it, I hope you never forget that.
Thank you.
I hope every time that you look at that coin that you realize your true worth,
Mm-hmm.
and that you're more than just a teacher.
Awesome.
You know, teachers are the backbone of the society.
Absolutely.
We all need teachers, and we all, at one point or another, we experience a teacher and teachers through every stage of our lives. So, the back of it says our slogan, which is serving those who serve others. I just really appreciate you taking the time to come out and share just a little bit about your story, and just share a little bit of advice for new teachers, or just a little bit of insight for people who may be thinking about getting into this profession. I see you with your kids. They love you. You love them.
Yeah.
It's just really cool to watch and to see.
Thank you.
So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you do. It's very appreciated. And you got anything else you want to say before we let you go?
I think that's it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Until next time.
Awesome.